Welcome back, bug nerds. So I have a cool article here that's kind of a screw over for Mark Zuckerberg. Rare bees kill Meta's nuclear-powered AI data center. This is out of Popular Science. So what has happened is, as these Silicon Valley companies have extended their AI capabilities, they require more and more power in order to sustain it because these computational setups require an enormous amount of energy to turn on, much less use in any good sense. So Meta was planning on expanding its AI facilities and then tapping into a local nuclear power plant somewhere in California, undisclosed. Um, and it has since that whole project has now been killed because they had undisclosed rare pollinators in the area that would have been wiped out probably by building this facility. So they haven't said what the species in the area were. It is most likely a bumblebee, but it's totally crushed Meta's hopes of expanding this facility, which, I mean, people seem to have mixed feelings about AI. Most people don't like Meta or Facebook or Mark Zuckerberg, I would say. So no one really cares about them if they got screwed over. But it is an issue. Generally, California kind of gets poo-pooed because they do have some extremely strict environmental protection things for threatened species. Uh, but in this case, it's hard to argue against it because people like bumblebees. Um, if it's like some shrimp, brine shrimp is threatened, people don't really care. But because bumblebees are kind of charismatic uh, animal group, or I mean, it's not just one species, but the bombus in general and all of the associated things like carpenter bees and stuff like that um, are pretty charismatic. Same goes for butterflies. Same goes for honeybees. All of those sort of pollinators people care about, and there have been a lot of problems with pollinators lately. Um, the Xerxes Society, this is the Xerxes Society, and I'll link them for those of you interested. Generally, I'm not a huge fan of them just because they do tend to put out a lot of articles that are obviously ideologically motivated, but they are the main invertebrate conservation group in the US, and I do believe they're based out of California. And they're named after the Xerxes blue butterfly, which went extinct in 1943. And they do a lot of work. They fund a lot of work uh, about bumblebee conservation, and they do maintain a list of kind of the rare or endangered bumblebees and where they're found in the United States. And there are a number of threatened bumblebee species in California. So there's about half a dozen, maybe a little more. So it could be any of them, but this is likely what has killed this. So if you like the bees, this is a win-win, or it's a good thing. If you don't like Meta, it's a win-win in that case. But if you are pro AI, you're gonna have to find a new hill to die on because it's just not popular. Or AI is not looked on well enough, and bumblebees are looked on really well. So kind of an interesting story. I'll link this and I'll link the Xerxes Society if you are interested in helping them or donating to them because they do a lot of good work, even if they kind of put out kind of ideologically motivated sorts of articles. But they still do good things, so they should be supported. And I'll talk to you guys later.